President Trump bolstering his foreign policy and immigration agenda with brand new cabinet picks.
Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with all the details. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, good morning, Carly and Todd. President-elect Trump's new picks to help tackle his immigration agenda are long-term officials. He named Rodney Scott as Customs and Border Protection Commissioner and Caleb Vitello as Acting Director of ICE. Scott served roughly 3 decades for Border Patrol. He ran the agency until 2021 when the Biden administration ousted him. Trump, meantime, notes Vitello has more than 23 years of service to ICE. He currently serves as the Assistant Director of the Office of Firearms and Tactical Programs.
They've allowed 21 million people into our country coming through open borders from many, many countries. They came from jails. They came from mental institutions, insane asylums even. And we're going to have to get them out.
Trump also tapped former Georgia Senator David Perdue to be his ambassador to China and David Sachs as his White House AI and crypto czar. Sachs was a former executive at PayPal, where he worked with Elon Musk. As Trump rolls out new nominees and appointments, his choice for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is promising to fight on after facing allegations of financial mismanagement, sexual impropriety, and reports of intoxicated behavior. He has denied the accusations.
I'm a different man than I was years ago. And that's a redemption story that I think a lot of Americans appreciate. And I know from fellow vets that I've spent time with, they resonate with that as well. You fight, you go do tough things in tough places on behalf of your country. And sometimes that changes you a little bit.
Hegseth has been meeting with lawmakers all week on Capitol Hill. He maintains he has the president-elect's support.
Pete Hegseth?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to take things real slow, and I want some crazy eye contact. Not you, you. Take your clothes off, but leave the helmets, and this isn't Pretty Woman. We're kissing. Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney. Look, I've never been a natural bottom, and we're going to move on down the hallway so we can spare a cleanup on aisle. So how's everyone feel about this?
I don't like you.
Yes, let's hold on to that attitude.
Is that Hegseth as... I need to know right now, actually. Jerry, is that Hegseth as Deadpool? Are we creating an entirely new timeline right now? Is it Hegseth as Deadpool? Okay. All right. I love it. And yes. And please. And more. And thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Free for All Friday here on The Betty Show. We got so many photos of Christmas ornaments. We have spent all morning. Killer Klein and I we slept in the studio last night in order to load up all of the Christmas ornament photos that you've sent us. We probably have 1,000. We've shipped almost 50,000. So we love you. And we'll play them all at the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we got your Christmas trees up. We got our spirits up. We are going to win. And this is the holiday season. A season for miracles. And that's what we're going to get with Kash Patel, the FBI, and Pete Hegseth as SecDef. The fight for Kash and Hegseth. We're going to cover it today. We made a ton of news yesterday. It's our job, actually, to make news. We're going to be seeing what happens today. Our little battle against Joni Ernst, my home state of Iowa, is leaving a mark, let's just say, in Washington, D.C. We'll cover it all today. The firming up of support for Pete Hegseth, the turning of the corner. Look at us. Look at us. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. Look what we've done. We changed the future of America. Because of the work that we did yesterday and because of us digging our heels in this week for Trump's nomination picks, the senators are feeling the heat. And now, suddenly, many of them are turning a different tune. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see if they'll be whistling Dixie and singing Jingle Bells with bells on. Today in the show, Secret Service hearing descends into chaos as Secret Service Director explodes. It's his job to stop things from exploding in Capitol Hill, but lo and behold, Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe had a feline meltdown yesterday. Not what you want to see, honestly. We're going to cover it today with Jim Jordan. Frickin' Chairman Jim Jordan on the program, and he's going to be taking all of these important decisions to the mat Because he's a wrestler. You know what I mean? What's another good way to say that, Killer Klein? A lot of wrestlers, like I'm good on wrestling jargon, but Killer Klein's a UFC expert. So like, we're gonna go to UFC in like a week. So like, what would be the KO? Jim Jordan's gonna KO. He's gonna tap him out. They're gonna tap out with Jordan on the program. Okay. A lot of wrestlers make great UFC fighters. Yes. Yeah. Okay. He's gonna pin him. Well, that would be a wrestling. Is there pinning? Is there pinning in UFC? No. This is like knockout. Okay. All right. Whatever. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, baby. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is the Benny Show. Do I really have to read my own name? Do I really have to do it, ladies and gentlemen? We look daily at a important piece of data, which is the comments on the program, the audience, the chat. We talk about what you want us to talk about. We're always going to be pinning questions that we have for the audience. And trust me when I say we're going to be bringing forward an incredible access point, something we've been working on in the laboratory. We've been going into our cave, okay? We've been in cave mode for the last couple of weeks. After Trump's win, we said we got to change. We got to provide something for this audience that nobody else on the internet will. And so we're very close to being able to announce something. But let me tell you, you are in the right place. We're going to create an ecosystem here where you will have such incredible access to what is going on in your government. We have been in the building stages of launching a new product that's going to put you in the forefront of what's happening in this dynamic and exciting new administration. We're going to be rolling out a brand new product to physically bring you into the halls of where these decisions are happening. So much of your government is decided in secret, is decided against your will, is decided in the dark of night so that it can benefit Nancy Pelosi's private portfolio? No more. Sunlight is best disinfectant, they say. And so we are going to deliver for you. We're very excited about it. We're heading to Mar-a-Lago tomorrow. We're going to put the final building blocks in place. And we're going to be announcing something brand new on the program. It's going to be so awesome. It's going to include you being able to ask questions you being able to literally physically ask questions of the people who are making the decisions of this country, to be able to plant ideas. You can't kill an idea. It's very important. Ideas are very important. They take root and they grow. The good ones grow and they flourish into something really exciting. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we want to sort of preview for you these exciting moments. What question should we ask today, ALX? What should we pin to the top of the chat? Let's pin a poll to the top of the chat. I didn't think about this. What question should we ask today? Let's ask about what do you want Kash Patel to do his first day as FBI director? Okay? Danny, ALX, Ashley, producers of this program, take that question, build out some answers, and let's pin that to the top of the chat. We want engagement in the chat. We want people. We're working on putting the chat on screen for the show. It becomes complicated with like the guests and things like that, but we're gonna make it work. Okay? We're gonna make it work. It's an exciting time. Anyway, we're extra thankful for you as a season of Thanksgiving. We're thankful for our connectivity on the road. We're thankful for our connectivity to you. So much of that is done through Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is the cell phone company that we trust the very most to keep us locked in on the road and in this dynamic environment that we are in where, wait till you see what we have for you. Wait till you see what we've been cooking. You think we just let Trump, you think we just drown here in Trump champagne? Okay, and like not deliver something epic for this new administration? No, man, we got some fun stuff cooking for you. We've been in the laboratory. Okay, it's been fun. Patriot Mobile will take you there. Patriot Mobile is available on all three major networks. It's the cell phone company that we use. PatriotMobile.com/Benny. Call 972-PATRIOT to get a free month today with the offer code Benny. PatriotMobile.com/Benny. Call 972-PATRIOT for your free month of service today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the Christmas time, Killer Klein, I'm just going to jump down here to F block, please. Speaking of, it really is an F block, because when I saw these photos, I went, holy F! Whoa! What is this? These photos of Joe Biden, man, from last night. We just got to show you these. This is crazy. And there's another, look at, what? Bro's about to be visited by 3 ghosts. That's what this is. This is Christmas time at its best. Look at this. This guy just got done telling Bob Cratchit that he's not getting a raise. That's what just happened. All you need is like a little nightcap on him and a little candlestick and a little robe. It looks like he's wearing a robe right now. What the hell is going on? Look at that hair. Look at that. Can I get the something about Mary? Can you get something about Mary? The Cameron Diaz with her hair like that. Jerry, can you grab that? Can we do a side by side? Here's what's going on. And we're not trying to pick on old Joe. You know, old Joe will be lucky if he winds up not in jail. Better have a little pocket pardon, they call it, for himself. This is very interesting. Ronald Dahl, who has written some of the most classic children's books, and a famous smith of words and thoughts and ideas. Ronald Dahl, there he is, perfect. Dumbass Photoshop, perfect, amazing. That's actually what the account's called. He wrote that people who have ugly thoughts on the inside, over time, show those thoughts on the outside. And when you see somebody as hideous as Joe Biden, as Cretan-esque as Joe Biden, wobbling and shaking and twisted, you realize that it is a reflection of the guy's soul. When Joe Biden's biting and literally biting and shoving children's feet in his mouth, he did that. Like we have the video of him like literally eating children. It's a sickness, man. And over the course of your life, if you have ugly thoughts on the inside, this is why redemption is so important. This is why forgiveness is so important. This is why confession is so important. You can't keep those twisted, ugly thoughts on the inside without them bursting forth and making you an ugly person on the outside. And this is what Joe Biden did. Can we go back to the original photo? That's what's happening with this dude. We've said that Joe Biden has a mental illness and has like problems in his brain. Now, he has had plates in his brain, right? ALX is aneurysms he's had. He's had to go get brain surgery before, a couple times, actually. But what this shows you is that Joe Biden, who was bald as a bat in the 70s, it's got photos of this guy, got a complete squeaky clean bald head looking like Dana White in the 70s. Suddenly, he has all this miracle growth of hair. You know what that is? That's them taking a nail gun and literally punching hair in his head. That's why it looks like that. Can you zoom in as close as we can get it right there? Can you zoom in? Look at that. Well, the reason his hair looks like that is because you want to know why the guy has a tough time thinking or talking. It's because they've taken a nail gun and they punched his hair into his head. It's all plastic. It would go up like a polyester Christmas tree. Christmas Vacation. Whew. If you lit a match around it. Look at that, dude. That was Joe Biden last night. It's for real. Yeah, look at this. Is such a great one. Bald as a freaking bat. Look at that. Not all the plastic surgery in the world can cover up a ugly soul. Am I wrong? Right? Isn't that something? Isn't that something? You see these people with all this plastic surgery and you realize like there's nothing more beautiful than aging gracefully and peacefully and happily. We had Mae Musk on the program the other day. And she was talking about a beautiful woman for 70 years old. 75, I think, Mae Musk. Anyway, like there's nothing more beautiful than like being peaceful and confident in yourself and your actions in life, and you grow with that and you become beautiful actually as you grow and you advance. You become more beautiful with age, in fact, and wisdom. And this is the opposite. This is a twisted and tortured soul. And there's a reason why Joe Biden is tortured, because there's only so long that you can live a lie. And when the ultimate person that you're lying to with Joe Biden, when he's lying about pardoning his son, or when he's lying about he doesn't know anything that Hunter's doing, he's actually lying to himself. He's disgracing himself. When Joe Biden said he was the most popular president in American history, my ass. Joe Biden will leave office as the worst president in modern history. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick off the show with some good news. Voters have delivered a devastating verdict on Joe Biden's office, branding him the worst president in almost 50 years. An exclusive Daily Mail poll found that Biden was less impressive than Jimmy Carter. We've done that show. Danny, ALX, we've done that show. We literally have done the show. Like, it was like years ago. We were like, wait a second. He's going to wind up worse than Jimmy. I'm not sure. There's that photo of Jimmy Carter, right? Like clearly knocked out. And I'm trying to make fun of him. He's like 100 years old. Again, it's elder abuse. His family's sitting there like having him vote, for Kamala. It's elder abuse is what it is. It's the same thing. I'm not sure who looks better, but I can tell you who has a better standing with the American public. Jimmy Carter does. Holy smokes. For my entire life, Jimmy Carter was like the joke that you'd say. And now it's official. Jimmy Carter, look what his family did. Look at this. This is like how much elder abuse goes on the left. These people are despicable. Truly. They said he's sticking around to vote for Kamala. That's right. He's voting for Kamala. The funny thing is, everybody saw this photo and thought it was Joe Biden. That's a fact. It's like a couple months ago when this was out. Yeah. There you go. Okay, anyway, let's keep reading. The poll results make him the worst president in our lifetime. Worse than Richard Nixon, who was forced to resign rather than face impeachment over devastating Watergate scandal. Fun fact, the pardon that Richard Nixon got for Watergate was half as broad, half as large as the pardon that Joe Biden just gave Hunter. And get ready, the pardon machine is whirling overtime in Washington, D.C. There's going to be so many pardons. Yet when 1,000 registered voters were asked to rank the 9 presidents in order from best to worst, Biden came in at the very bottom, making him the worst president in 47 years. 44% place him as one of the worst of 2, while 14% place him at the top of the worst presidents ever. The other worst was Nixon, who absolutely should not be on that list. Nixon was a spectacular president when you actually dig into it. James Johnson, co-founder of JL Partners, who conducted the polls and did the polling for President Trump, which was spot on, called it a diabolical result for Joe Biden. There is always a recency bias, as Joe Biden is the incumbent. He starts off at a disadvantage, but regardless, these numbers are far worse than I expected. Voters have obviously looked at his age, general conduct in office, his botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, the situation on the southern border, and decided that, in their view, that qualifies him to be the worst president in history. And that's the position in which he leaves office from the man who beat Trump. Bullshit! Yeah. To the man who is fundamentally broken, pardoning his son and destroying his party on the way out. Senior Democrats blame his handling of the election and his endorsement of Kamala Harris. The funniest stories, man. I cannot wait for all this news to come out. I cannot wait for all of it to come out. According to multiple reports, Joe Biden was not supposed to come out and just endorse Kamala Harris. That's what everyone's screaming about now in their after-action autopsy podcasts, right? So everyone's doing the autopsy of the 2024 election. And they're like, why was Kamala such a horrendous candidate? Well, Joe Biden had himself a little trick up his sleeve. When Joe Biden was forced out, he was so pissed about it that he immediately jumped in to endorse Camilla, knowing, of course, that she is a low IQ, insufferable, nightmarish DEI disaster. He did this as a massive F off to the Democrat Party, dooming the Democrat Party. Did Kamala Harris do better than Joe Biden would have done? What a question, chat. What a question. I know we already have a poll pinned. What a question. The poll, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's see here. What should Kash Patel be first act as FBI director? Release the Diddy list, release the Epstein list, release the declassified JFK files, declassified UFO files. Oh man, that's a tough one, boys. What do you think? That's a tough one. Look at this. Here's the poll right now. What do you think? Ooh, the Epstein list going in strong. The reason why these polls are important is because we listen to you. We freaking love you. We care about you. We're doing everything on this program for you because we are you. I'm just like a dude who went to community college. Killer Klein's just like a guy who was like doing jujitsu and like wanted to save his country. That's right. He just likes fighting people. ALX was a butcher. Okay. He was an actual butcher. Updated results. Yeah. And Yeah, and Danny was just a lowly French lord in his chateau, twisting his mustache and hand rolling his cigarette that he would smoke out of a very long one of those long golden Crelle de Ville things. Yeah. So anyway, we were just normal people living our normal lives. Okay, this is very clean. Is this brand new? Okay, here we go. Brand new, 2,000 votes. Everyone wants the Epstein list. Keep the votes coming in. Keep the votes coming in. Can we put the same poll up on X, please? Right now, we'll put the poll up where we are allowed to put polls. Some sites don't have integration for the poll. This poll is currently on YouTube. Okay. Man, look at you. Look at you, chat. You love the release of the Epstein list. Good for you. Tend to agree. Okay, so let's move on to Kash Patel getting nominated and getting confirmed, because this is very, very important, and we have won. President-elect Donald Trump reaffirmed support for Pete Hegseth post-article blasting attacks. Oh yeah, baby. Here's Donald Trump's message about Pete Hegseth that published right at time of show. Okay, so just a few minutes ago. Thank you, Mr. President. Like you, we will never back down. Pete Hegseth is doing very well. His support is strong and deep. Much more so than the fake news would have you believe. He's a great student, Princeton, Harvard educated with military state of mind. He will be fantastic, high energy Secretary of Defense. One who leads with character and skill. Pete is a winner, and there is nothing that can be done to change that. Now, this is very interesting. It turns out that Ron DeSantis is going to be with Donald Trump at the Army-Navy game. That happens next weekend. Will Pete Hegseth be there as well? He should be. There were rumors, according to Wall Street Journal, post not our show, but it is our obligation to report to you the news, that Donald Trump was considering a switcheroo. But ladies and gentlemen, that has apparently the switch is actually on the people who are trying to torpedo Pete Hegseth. According to Matt Boyle, Breitbart News, several Senate sources have told me last night and in the morning that Pete Hegseth really, really turned a corner in the last few days. They expect him to win confirmation in the chamber. This comes after Joni Ernst signaled that she supports advancing his nomination at the confirmation hearing, and she said last night that she believes that it should happen. As many other senators like Mike Rounds and Kevin Kramer, who those guys are super squishy, right? Very round Mike Rounds, have signaled that their support moving forward. Pete Hegseth is showing he's winning over people who have criticized him. Basically impossible to see a change happening after confirmation hearing, which would presumably happen in mid-January because the SecDef is usually one, if not the first confirmation votes that happen right after inauguration, literally on January 20. So Pete seems to be out of the woods now, and the momentum is on his side, especially as Trump himself, J.D. Vance, among others, have tripled down on his support for the nomination. Alex, we got that cool J.D. Vance post from today. I'm sure we do. Do we got it? Okay. Let's pop it up. And if we have this video, I'd like to share it, because as you can see here, this was posted right when we went live today. And I think it's very, very instructive. J.D. Vance is himself a combat veteran. He served in the same fields of battle as Pete Hegseth. So if you're thinking that like this decision was made haphazardly by President Trump, nope. Alex and I were at Mar-a-Lago watching J.D. Vance literally bring people in personally to the room that Donald Trump was sitting in with the advisors. And J.D. Vance is like making the case for these people personally. And this means something to warfighters, obviously. The Hegseth pick has got to come from J.D. Vance. That's based on every available piece of information I've gotten from Team Trump, from our phone calls, from our proximity to the team. This is a J.D. Vance push, and this man is like, these guys who go off to war together, they're not there to betray each other, all right? J.D. Vance this morning says that Bridge Kobe, who is the former DOD official, who was on CNBC this morning, was saying the advise and consent power of the Senate is not a blanket veto authority. Who said that? We said that this week. This entire week, we've been banging that drum. This is the advise and consent doesn't mean you are now the president. Joni Ernst is now the president. That's what Joni Ernst thinks, which is insane. That's what these senators think. Mitch McConnell literally thinks he's a senator. He thinks that he's president. It's delusional. It's sick, baby. They should go to the same. hairstylist as Joe Biden. These people are out of their wigs. The problem at the Department of Defense is that we keep losing war. Procurement is broken. The morale is low, and we have a recruitment crisis. Pete was nominated to fix this. This is combat veteran J.D. Vance saying, I am the man behind the Pete Hegseth nomination. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to the interview that was so important that J.D. Vance put it up just moments ago and said, you must watch this.
Pete Hegseth's been out there in the Senate making the case as well as on media. He's got a lot of allies coming out for him, vouching for him. I think my view is that, frankly, the president of the United States deserves a presumption that the people that he nominates, should be those the ones who serve in those positions. I mean, I think we talked a little bit earlier. What do these this pick mean or that pick mean? I think this is Donald Trump's agenda. It's putting Americans first. It's ending the forever wars. As he said, I don't start wars, I stop them. So I think that's the way I look at it. In terms of, how the Senate's going to react, that's obviously sort of unpredictable. But I think Pete and others are making a very strong case for why he'd be an excellent Secretary of Defense.
This assumption that it's the Senate's job suddenly to be president of the United States is insane. And also, this is, I think, something that is a moral question. If you read your Bible and you look at the scriptures, and if you look at Western law, you have a right to face your accuser. If you look at the foundations of the judicial principles, the bedrock of how the judicial systems are created in this country and that have sustained this nation, anonymous allegations smeared through the media that are pushed simply to destroy someone's chances to advance into a position that some of the most warped, wretched people in the world don't want them to be in. The defense contractors. Yes, I'm talking about you, the defense contractors. The people who've perpetuated forever war, who have thrown our national debt into the meat grinder, who have pushed untold billions to Ukraine while potholes and bad pipes and bad infrastructure and crumbling neighborhoods remain in your town, who don't give a damn about this country. And as the profitability and resources and treasure of this country are mined from it and brought into the suburbs of Virginia and the greater DMV area, is what it's called, around Washington, D.C., that is the true wealth transfer of a nation who can't afford to do it anymore. We can't afford these wars. We can't afford these policies. We can't afford the losses and humiliations in our media, in our military. And through our media, they are trying to destroy Pete Hegseth. It is a despicable tactic. It's the wrap-up smear. We talked about it before. And no man or woman should ever have to go through this again. We should crush this tactic in the cradle. And this is what we are about. It's so much bigger than Hegseth and Kash, who are our boys. Okay? It's about the tactic. Hegseth has a right to face his accuser. If you want to sue him, if you think he's actually a bad person, sue him. Take him to court. Bring it up. Be honorable enough to give the man a chance to stare down his accuser. The man went and carried a firearm and stared down the Taliban, ISIS, some of the worst forces on earth. This is an assassination of someone's character based solely on anonymous sources. And what are our senators doing? Our senators are saying that F all of the Fox News hosts, some of the great people like Will Cain, some of the co-hosts, Rachel Campos-Duffy, some of the people who were served in war zones with Pete Hegseth. Screw those people. They're on the record. They're man enough to show their faces and explain why they support Pete Hegseth. We're going to go with the anonymous report from the people who hate us. It's sick. We have that video of Joni Ernst. We have that video of Joni Ernst that went viral yesterday, talking about the talent of transgender troops. Like, it's important to note who the people who are standing against Pete Hegseth are and what their vision is for the military. And now people have been really digging into Joni Ernst and asking, wait a second, why is this lady, with her very, very sketchy history in the military herself, why is this lady so hard set against Pete Hegseth? We'll show you in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Pete Hegseth's lawyer now saying that he may sue for defamation. This is something that Kavanaugh didn't do. We are about the tactic. We will show you the tactics on this program. These tactics must be destroyed. Pete Hegseth's lawyer saying, we're going to sue people who came out against us and slandered a good man. Good. Where can I donate? Let's go.
If he is not confirmed as the Secretary of Defense, we may still bring a civil extortion claim against her. If the false claims of somebody that was part of an extortion that was then put out in violation of a settlement agreement ultimately causes him to lose his future employment opportunities, then yes, that is something that is worth bringing a lawsuit against her and her friend and potentially even the attorney for, yes.
He's threatening to bring a defamation suit, but also saying that she's free to talk. Yeah. He says that the confidentiality agreement is not in effect anymore. So should we hear from her? And why? And if we should, then, I mean, why is he threatening her with a lawsuit if she speaks out?
Well, because my imagination is that they believe she has made false allegations. And by the way, he was investigated for this. The police looked at this. He's never faced any charges whatsoever over this. It's not uncommon for people to enter into these kind of agreements. But if she wants to come and testify, I don't think anybody should have a problem with that, because I assume Pete Hegseth, who's going to be under oath, is going to have a much different story. And to a lot of Republicans right now, some of this is starting to feel a little bit like the Kavanaugh confirmation hearing, where you have a lot of anonymous, a lot of innuendo, a lot of people using words like voluminous, and people, sort of piling on here without really any substantive, on-the-record stuff to back it up. So what I would recommend is that he continue to fight for his own reputation, that we get to a hearing and we put everybody under oath, and then we see where the chips fall. He's got two fights. One is reputational. One is also, can you do the job? And so he's fighting a two-front battle in the Senate, and that's a real thing, and he needs to cross the line.
Hearing of all the...
What's he doing? What's he doing? He's living through a flat circle of tactics that these guys, the only tactics they are capable of. The JFK, they tried that on Trump. The Kavanaugh, you smear the guy out of existence, or Russiagate. That's it. Those are the three tactics. You call him he's a Russian stooge. That's what they're doing to Tulsi right now. This is it. These are the only tactics. This is the only playlist they have. 3 songs, ding, ding, ding. It's the most boring Spotify playlist on earth. It's so sad, and Pete Hegseth is done with it. One of the greatest nuke fests I've seen on Capitol Hill of the reporter class in this country comes from a dude who had his own Fox show, so he knows how to manhandle these people. Yesterday, Pete Hegseth to the media saying, I don't answer to you, scum. I answer the American people. Go.
You on the issue of alcohol? No, we've had great conversations about who I am and what I believe, and frankly, the man I am today, because of my faith in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my incredible wife, Jenny, right here. I'm a different man than I was years ago, and that's a redemption story that I think a lot of Americans appreciate, and I know from fellow vets that I've spent time with, they resonate with that as well. You fight, you go do tough things in tough places on behalf of your country, and sometimes that changes you a little bit. And by the grace of God and my Lord and Savior, I had an opportunity to come on up out of it and do great things with great veterans organizations that fought for vets, that fought for reform at the VA and for war fighters. And at the Fox News channel, to advocate for those very same causes. And I'm proud of what I fought for. I'm not going to back down from them one bit. I will answer all of these senators' questions, but this will not be a process tried in the media. I don't answer to anyone in this group. None of you. Not to that camera at all. I answer to President Trump, who received 76 million votes on behalf and a mandate for change. I answer to the 100 senators who are part of this process and those in the committee. And I answer to my Lord and Savior and my wife and my family. I'm proud to be here. And as long as Donald Trump wants me in this fight, I'm going to be standing right here in this fight, fighting to bring our Pentagon back to what it needs to be.
What have your conversations?
Boom. Boom. Good for you, man. I don't answer to you. I answer to the American people. I'm not scared about the press. It's a tactic. And it's a tactic that's backfiring now, ladies and gentlemen, because those who are pushing to get Pete out of the way are coming under scrutiny themselves. And instead of anonymous slander and smears and character assassinations, we're just using their own clips against them. Here's a post that I put up yesterday. Joni Ernst. Alex, can you send it? It's gone nuclear. And it's a clip of Joni Ernst explaining what her vision for the military is. Now, the reporting that we're hearing is that Joni Ernst is calling rabidly Mar-a-Lago left day and night to try and get Pete Hegseth to drop out. Screaming at Trump, saying, you gotta dump him. Now, why would Joni Ernst do that? Joni Ernst voted for Lloyd Austin. She was proud to do it. She put up a tweet saying, boom, clap. I'm so proud to vote for Lloyd Austin. Well, it all starts making sense, ladies and gentlemen, when you listen to Joni Ernst's vision for the military. You want to talk about what a rhino is? You want to talk about what it looks like to be somebody totally and wholly captured? Now, I don't know how it works. Senator Lee was on our program yesterday talking about it. I don't know how I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's blackmail. It probably is. It probably is blackmail from the intelligence agencies. It could be money also. Bags of money from defense contractors. Just boatloads of it. You know, they can all donate to PACs, right? Unlimited amounts to support Joni. And if you don't say these certain things, if you don't push for these certain things in the military, then we're not going to back you. But I know what this is. I don't know how it happens for each individual member, but I know what eventually they become. Just like Joni Ernst's hair, they become a gray blob that's hard to look at, that doesn't stand for anything, that simply reflects the current thing. No principle, no spine, no backbone, no gunpowder in your gut, no convictions at all. Just a gray mass doing exactly what the true puppeteers want them to do. They become Muppets, NPCs you might call them, if you're into meme culture, gaming culture. They're non-playable characters. And so here's Joni Ernst, so stunning and brave, so brave, saying the current thing. Listen to her talk about how we need, how our military will be made so much stronger with the new woke military brigade, thoroughly woke military brigades. Let's go.
So the example of transgender people serving in our military. We have transgender people serving in our military. They will bleed red just as the rest of us. But I also take a stance that we should not be integrating transgender people into certain situations where it does make, if you have a female barracks and you have a transgender woman who has not transitioned, we shouldn't make the rest of the unit uncomfortable about that setting. There are certain accommodations we can make for that transgender individual. But if they bring value to our unit, if they have specialties that we can use, especially if we want to maintain an all-volunteer force, We want to bring that talent into our services. And I know that's controversial, but again, I'm looking at what's good for our nation. And believe me, when we're facing a recruiting challenge right now, if people are physically willing and able to serve our country, we want them to do so.
That's a Republican. That's a high-ranking Republican. This post has 61,000 likes, 21,000 reposts, 8,000 comments. And every single comment was saying, Joni Ernst needs to be primaried. Joni Ernst is in a state, represents a state that was won by President Trump by 15 points. And she's treating our military as a woke social experiment inside of a liberal arts college. She should resign. She should resign. Honestly, so the damage that's been done to Joni Ernst is you can't put the genie back in the bottle on this one. You're done. Toothpaste ain't going back in the tube. Joni Ernst is going to see a primary challenge. Just her putting up this catty front on Pete Hegseth. Like, look at what she said about voting for Lloyd Austin. Oh, she's so excited to do it. Today I voted to confirm Lloyd Austin to be the next Secretary of Defense. Lloyd Austin will help prevent sexual assault in the military and ensure our troops will curb wasteful spending. Oh, did he do that exactly? Can we get something from Joni Ernst on Lloyd? It's there in the chat. It's there in the chat, Klein. Can we get something from Joni Ernst about the wasteful spending in the military? How's that going for you? Exactly. Posting on January 22nd, 2021. How's that going for you, Joni? Did you hold him accountable? Can somebody check in on Joni holding accountable the untold trillions that have been spent on the Pentagon over the last couple of years? After she said they'd hold. Can you show me where you've held Lloyd Austin accountable? They're so despicable. Joni Ernst posting about her meeting with Pete Hegseth, because Pete Hegseth is a man who wants to actually face his accusers and accusations head on. He walked into Joni Ernst's office and said, no, I'm going to take on these smears. You're not going to derail me. He met with her graciously. And then Joni Ernst puts up this pithy, catty, I met with Pete Hegseth. We had a little meeting. It wasn't nice. You won't like it either. That's it. We had a frank and thorough conversation. Look at her. Look at the ratio. Look at the ratio. That 16,000 comments. 2K reposts. That's a insane. That's an 8-to-1 ratio. Why the hell are you trying to derail Hegseth's nomination? Think Trump's going to make you defense secretary? Not a chance, lady. This is what it's all about. This is all about. It's this sick positioning for herself. It's grotesque. It's swamp rat behavior. And it is beneath anyone who represents the highly moral, upstanding, and honest state of Iowa. I love the state of Iowa. Ladies and gentlemen, on the show yesterday, Senator Lee said, nope, we're going to confirm him. We're going to confirm him, lady, okay? You are not. This is not going to happen. The reason why, and it's so important, and the reason why we are going to bang the drums on this, is we must kill the tactic. We love Pete. We love Kash. We're after the tactic itself. We must destroy the structure. And Trump giving in, I'm not saying Trump's going to give in to this, obviously. They've run this playbook. They've run every playbook they have against Trump. And they've done some decimating damages, obviously. They did everything they could. They ran the JFK playbook on Trump. They were this close. That close. Trump had to eat a bullet through the playbook. We want to kill the tactic because it'll be your kids next, my kids next, you next. It'll be all of us. They can run this till kingdom come. You get something that they don't want you to have, they will go and they will smear you and they will destroy you. None of it has to be true. All of it can be completely fictional. like it was with Kavanaugh. None of that was Kavanaugh's freaking school choir boy. Literally. None of the things they said about Kavanaugh were real. None of them. So the lawyer's right to be out there threatening, being like, nope, we're going to destroy your life. Get ready. Get ready, lady. It's going to be awesome. It's good. We're going to break these tactics. We're going to break this system. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the important backers of Pete. Jim Banks backs Pete. This was time of show yesterday. Jim Banks is awesome. Incoming senator from the state of Illinois. And so he said yes to Pete. I'm not sure if we have any other big announcements on the Pete front, but we do have some big announcements from the Kash front, ladies and gentlemen, making sure that we are cashing in here. John Cornyn, known as one of the squishiest, weakest, most feeble members of all of Congress, who's betrayed the conservative base time and time again to serve his corporate masters inside of Washington, D.C., his swamp rat masters. John Cornyn says, yo, Kash is going to be confirmed. That is such a great sign for Kash Patel. Here we go.
First of all, will Kash Patel be confirmed, as I expect he will be, but you're the guy who knows. What do you think?
Yes, he will be. People I have great respect for, people like Trey Gowdy, have recommended him highly. I'm still looking to schedule a meeting with Kash, but I think, certainly has vast experience, including working on the House Intelligence Committee on the Russiagate scam and the Steele dossier scandal. So look forward to meeting with him. I met with Pam Bondi the next.
I love this. Senators getting in line. And guess who's advocating, according to our sources, guess who's going into these meetings all across Capitol Hill with flying colors is Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is going to probably get like 20 Democrats to vote for her. That's a matter of fact. Pam Bondi is going to win like 70-30 in Senate confirmations. Pam Bondi is a freaking bombshell nominee for AG. And I'm really happy about it. Matt Gaetz seems happy about it. Yo, Matt Gaetz is like living the life right now. So what can you say? What can you say? Matt Gaetz will serve in an awesome capacity. Maybe he'll be special counsel. That'd be great. Appoint Matt Gaetz special counsel to go investigate the election fraud of 2020. Maybe to go investigate what they did in Jack Smith's office. Whew, baby, you better be printing those pardon machines fast and as quickly as possible. The pardon machine is going to be melted down by the time Trump gets to D.C. Ted Cruz supports Kash. Ted Cruz out yesterday being like, nope, Kash is the man, let's go.
Well, listen, I'll say a couple of things. Number one, if you look at Kash Patel's background, he has been a senior intelligence staffer on Capitol Hill. He's been a senior intelligence staffer in the White House. He has been the chief of staff at the Department of Defense. He's been the deputy director of national intelligence. He's someone with deep background in addition to being a federal public defender and also a prosecutor. So he brings a deep background to the job. But secondly, I will say the world, and in particular the FBI and the Department of Justice, are very, very different today than they were back in 2020 when Bill Barr was Attorney General. And what we've seen for 4 years, tragically, has been the politicization and the weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI. And much of the criticism that is being directed at Kash Patel is not that he's not qualified for the job, but rather exactly the opposite. It is that his detractors are afraid he will actually do what he is committed to doing, which is to clean out the political corruption that sadly has done real damage to the FBI.
Hell yes, baby. So freaking awesome. Robert O'Brien backs Kash. Robert O'Brien is one of these like deeply respected national security, NatSec, and defense officials. He is someone who worked with Kash Patel, and he carries an enormous amount of weight in this field. Former national security advisor. Done pretty much every job there is in national security. Robert O'Brien back. Kash Patel is right for the FBI. The National Police Association backs Kash only. So awesome. Check this out. National Police Association endorses Kash Patel. Come on, dude. You can't get better than that. Oh, yeah, you actually can. You can have discredited FBI agents panicking live on air on CNN, screaming and crying about how the FBI corrupt layer of bureaucracy is panicking. The FBI agents are celebrating. We have FBI agents on the show all the time. Former. They're celebrating. Here we go.
Meanwhile, at the FBI, agents are gearing up for a big clash with Kash. Mr. Patel, Trump's pick for director, says he wants to turn the Hoover Building into a museum for the deep state. And it's not going over very well.
I talked to a number of executives at headquarters who are absolutely have already polished off their resume as soon as Trump was named as winner of the election and are out there actively pursuing other careers. Their chief concern and what they're going to be keenly looking for, and we should all be looking for as well, is the degree to which a Patel in that position is going to impact the field offices. The clash is going to occur rather immediately. It's going to occur almost immediately. And again, this desire to do away with civil service protections, I'm sure, the Agents Association and other law firms are ready to go on challenging that.
Self-deportation is the cheapest form of deportation. So it's happening right now. There are various island chains in various third world nations, that, like the Philippines, for instance, that are saying, you better self-deport. Donald Trump's serious about this. The president of the Philippines, I'm pretty sure I have that right. ALX, make sure that you make sure I'm hitting that right. The president of the Philippines is saying, if you're a criminal alien in America, they're serious. I've been in contact with their team. Come home now. It's better to self-deport. And that's what's happening right now with the criminal class across Washington, D.C. You have Justice Department lawyers fleeing, running, according to Politico this morning, running to law firms to try and get representation. Jack Smith's team is begging white shoe lawyer law firms for six-figure representation against what's about to happen, because they know that they now have a new sheriff that's going to investigate true crimes. It's amazing. Like, you don't behave like this unless you are a criminal. It's human nature. Somebody comes up to your door or my door and says, how many bodies you got buried in your backyard? I don't care who it is. The FBI, the police. I'm like, grab a shovel. This is going to be fun. Let's go. I've been meaning to till the soil. I would meaning to till the soil anyway, right? Let's plant a new garden. I don't care. There's no bodies buried in my backyard. But if you do that and you happen to actually do that to the serial killer with the bodies in the backyard, you're going to have a very different reaction. The guy's going to be running, sweating, and jumping fences. And this is what these people are doing. They're acting guilty. People like Dr. Fauci don't ask for a pardon without any criminal charges. They're desperate. They know there's going to be 50 years of MAGA, and they know that the rats are on their last little binge run on the ship. That's what we saw yesterday. Amazing, amazing moment. A screaming match between Director Ronald Rowe, we call him lovingly Director Lunkhead, at the Secret Service, a guy who shouldn't have a job at the Secret Service because he is a fraud. And he was called out on his fraudulence. Here's what happened. Texas Rep Pat Fallon put up a photo of Lunkhead trying to squeeze in order to position himself between Joe Biden and Donald Trump to show that he's in charge. But that's not the position he was supposed to be. He was the special agent in charge during a September 11th ceremony. And this is not the correct position for him to be in, given the guidebook of the Secret Service. He was doing it for the photo op. This is how cretinous these public bureaucrats are. He was doing it in order to try and position himself for a job. Trump was just shot in the head. And this guy's trying to get his picture taken. Trying to squeeze in there. Oh man, I've lived in DC. I've worked in DC. This is exactly how all these people are. It's grotesque. And then the guy snaps and loses his damn mind. Watch this.
You recognize this photo? Yes, sir, I do. Okay. Was that the remembrance of September 11th?
It was.
Was it in New York?
It was at Ground Zero.
Okay. Who is usually at an event like this closest to the President of the United States, security-wise?
The SAC of the detail.
Special agent in charge of the detail. Were you the special agent in charge of the detail that day?
Actually, let me address this. Could you please, staff, leave that? Oh, no, leave that one up with the circle around me. Thank you. So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the SAC of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you,
Congressman.
Were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect for a Secret Service member that died on 9/11.
Oh, that you're trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Oh, I'm not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir.
Gentlemen,
and you are out of line.
I would like to ask him a question. Please.
You are out of line, Congressman.
Don't try to bully me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are playing politics.
I am a public servant who has served this nation, and
you won't answer the question.
On our country's darkest day.
Committee will come to order.
Committee will come to order.
I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that day?
No, I wasn't. I was there representing the United States Secret Service, sir.
Mr. Fallon, your time's
expired. Did not affect protective operations.
You know why you were there? Because you wanted to be visible, because you are auditioning for this job.
I was there to pay respect for a fallen member of this agency.
You endangered President
out of line, Congressman.
Vice President Harris's life because you put those agents out of position.
Mr.
Did you have a radio with you?
Mr. Fallon, your time has expired.
No, I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Please.
All right. And we are back in order now. We are back in order now.
Thank you.
Oh, man. All right. I can't wait to talk with Jim Jordan about this. The amount of psychological breakdown that happened there, you wouldn't want that guy running a Chick-fil-A. Talk about your spicy chicken sandwich. Instead, he's running a multi-billion-dollar protection operation for the President of the United States, which is arguably one of the hardest jobs in the world because 4 presidents have been shot and killed while serving in office. Did you know that? Do you know that 8 presidents have been shot while in office or running for office? President Trump was just shot a couple months ago. And you have hothead, lunkhead, screaming his brains out, showing a complete lack of stoicism and composure and champion ethos. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now. No? Okay. All right, hold. All right, hold on just a second. I hear that we're testing. All right. This is bad. You don't want it. Jim Jordan is here, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to reconnect for just a second. You don't want people like that to be anywhere. Walking your dogs. You don't want people who like hair trigger. It says bad things about you. When you have individuals who can't control themselves, that's too much estrogen. That's feline in nature. It's psychotic. It's unhinged. And it's unhealthy. It's not. Let's try this again. Champion ethos. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is somebody who knows what it's like to go to battle and be a champion, who knows what it's like to win, and knows what it's like to be deeply under control, especially in very intense environments. You've seen him do this as chairman of the judiciary. You've seen him do this in Congress, dealing with witnesses like that, and far worse, I would say. The great chairman, Jim Jordan, joins us live now. Welcome back, and Merry Christmas.
Good to be with you, Benny. Yeah, you too. You too, Benny.
So you had the secretary of, well, the acting director of the Secret Service.
Yeah.
So sitting there screaming his brains out over and I watched the entire 20-minute line of question. It seems like a very rational line of questioning. You weren't where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
This isn't where This isn't where the special agent in charge stands. And he got so angry about being called out on it. It seems utterly disqualifying for this position. Your take on that?
Well, yeah, but and you couple all that. You couple his reaction with the how the Secret Service failed to handle protecting President Trump there in Butler, Pennsylvania, and then remember what happened in the aftermath of that. Right afterwards, there was questions, and the Secret Service then, Ms. Cheadle said, well, there was, the spokesperson for the Secret Service said, there was never a time where we didn't give the resources to President Trump that his security detail requested. And then 5 days later, they said, well, actually, there were times where he requested things that we didn't grant that request. So they lied to us. Not only didn't get the job done there in Butler, Pennsylvania, and anyone, you don't have to be in law enforcement to recognize that, but they lied to us about what took place prior to that when his detail was asking for more resource and didn't give it. So you got that as the backdrop, and then you have his reaction here from our colleague Congressman Fallon's questions. Again, I think it just shows why we need someone probably better there running that important, critically important organization.
Would you be in favor of would you vote in favor of a Dan Bongino for that role?
Well, I don't get a vote, but I think Dan would be great. I really do.
You get a vote. You're Jim Jordan. We know you get a vote, right? So.
This would be something that I assume does the Secret Service, does that go to, I don't know if that goes in front of the Senate or not. It's like certain heads do, of course, obviously certain cabinet positions. Some don't, some do. But I think he'd be great.
Yeah, I think Bongino would be, I think it'd be an antibody reaction to the system. And I think there'd be so much disruption by just the pick itself that you would have the bad actors self-deport. Now, this is something that Dan Scavino posted about yesterday. He was saying that little birdies tell him that they are entrenching Biden people inside of the Secret Service, which seems like very scary to me. I have been looking through for more reporting on that, and it seems like something that's happening across the federal government right now, where massive contracts are being signed, where enormous amounts of money is being spent and wasted, and there's been a lot of bureaucrats trying to entrench and protect themselves. How do we uproot that system, since that's clearly not what the American people want or voted for?
Well, you do exactly what President Trump's doing. You nominate people who are going to head these agencies who come from the fundamental perspective that says the agencies serve the taxpayer. They serve the commander-in-chief, the president, because he's head of the executive branch. They're not supposed to be weaponized against we the people. So, I mean, that is why I'm so encouraged by what the people said on Election Day. I think they voted for a whole new attitude about our government. And then President Trump, of course, is putting people forward who represent that attitude. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, she's with us on FISA reform. I want her to get confirmed. RFK Jr. is with us on protecting liberty and freedoms. I mean, Dan Bongino at the Secret Service would be with us on the change that need to take place there and the focus of the mission of that critical agency. So all these people, like Kash Patel at the FBI, but for Kash Patel, Benny, you know this. We don't learn that the Clinton campaign paid the law firm Perkins Coie, who hired Fusion GPS, who hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who put together a fake document, false document that became the basis to go spy on a presidential campaign. We don't know that, but for Devin Nunes and Kash Patel, when Devin was chairman and Kash was working as a top staffer for Chairman Nunes on that committee, and that allowed us then to go talk about what was going on there and expose how ridiculous this was. So it's all about having the right people in these key positions and the attitude they bring to that respective agency.
How much easier would your job be, oversight, if Kash Patel was in charge of the FBI?
Well, yeah, I mean, we did 1,000 letters this Congress, over 100 subpoenas. I probably did more subpoenas than the rest of Congress combined. And I don't necessarily like doing subpoenas. We're just trying to get the information, the facts, so we can do our job that the Constitution requires, which is oversight of the executive branch. It's a lot nicer when you can call up Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and say, hey, what happened here? Can you get it? That is so much better than having to go through this fight with subpoenas and letters back and forth so you establish the record in case you have to go to court, and on it goes. It is so much better when you got someone there who shares the perspective that we're supposed to be protecting American liberty, and in the FBI as an example, and going after bad guys, not this political nature that we've seen from the Biden-Harris administration.
You are going after some bad guys. You don't have to say it like that. We certainly will. You've made news this week. Jim Jordan gives Fani Willis a deadline to hand over documents in Trump investigation probe. This is the last remaining bit of lawfare. Breaking news at time of show, Mr. Chairman, is that John Fetterman is now saying, dump all Trump lawfare. It was all politicized. So a pretty remarkable sea change. It must be great to have been right, because you've been banging your fist on the table till it breaks, saying this for years. And man, now it seems like Fanny's over a barrel.
Well, there was a FOIA request where the court said that she had to turn over information. We've been asking for that information. We think we should get the same information that the judge said that they needed to deal with there. But I think it's interesting that you have Senator Fetterman saying what he's saying. On these 4 cases, which we knew were political, we knew they were lawfare. Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, and of course Jack Smith, and they're going away. Thank goodness. Certainly Jack Smith's going away. And I think it's interesting because they were told all along, oh no, this was legit from the Democrats, and the Democrats also told us that our impeachment is ridiculous. But if it was ridiculous, why did Joe Biden just pardon Hunter Biden for the very things that we were inquiring about? For goodness sake. So. I guess only Democrats can argue all sides of things and do the crazy things they do.
We've never seen a president pardon people who haven't been charged with a crime or aren't even, as far as we know, being investigated for a crime. Yet here we go with Anthony Fauci, but a number of other people, a list that may extend into the hundreds, if not thousands, if reporting is to be believed. What does this tell you, Mr. Chairman?
I think remember, they criticized because supposedly, and I don't know that they did this, but supposedly there were some of our colleagues who asked for pardons. I don't think they necessarily did, but the Democrats went crazy, and there weren't any pardons granted there. But now they're asking for Liz Cheney, Fauci, and I don't know who all else. And then you look at the pardon he did on Sunday. It was for 10 years and 11 months, and it was for not just the crimes he's been charged with, but any potential crime that he may have committed clear back to 2014. January 1st, 2014 to December 1st, 2024, 10 years and 11 months, a blanket pardon, and now they're trying to do that for other folks. That just makes no. When President Trump there's never been any retribution mindset with President Trump. Did he go after Hillary Clinton after she coordinated this effort to spy on his campaign, and with Jim Comey took the fake stuff to the FISA court to get the warrant? No, he didn't. So I don't know. I just, again, Democrats being Democrats, I guess.
It seems just absolutely. It seems totally out of our depth. Like how anyone could see the Democrat Party as anything other than a Ponzi scheme at this point, to enrich elites and then to bail them out of prison when they do crimes. Just seems to be a mask-off moment. And Joe Biden is just exposing the system for what it is. And so much is being exposed. I don't know if you met with Doge yesterday, but I know that Elon Musk and Vivek were on the Hill. Did you?
I met with Elon before the conference, and then of course I was at most of the conference where both Mr. Musk and Mr. Ramaswamy talked to our members, and members asked questions and had a good dialogue.
How did that go? And can you give us some insights into what's going to happen next?
I thought great. I just think you step back and say, here are 2 really sharp guys, very successful guys, love this great country of ours, and want the government to actually work for we the people. And they're looking to reduce expenses, but not just save money, but help the economy by saying we don't need some of the crazy regulations we put on the entrepreneurs and job creators in our economy. And maybe just as important, they actually want the people who do work for the government to come to work. Imagine that. You got to go to work. Like so much of the government in the bureaucracy, they work remotely. It's all Zoom it in and all that stuff, I guess, and remote work. Like what everyone knows, you want to be really productive. You want to be efficient. You got to get to work. So I think those kind of 3 kind of thrust are what they're focused on. And I look forward to what they what the report they bring forward or the recommendations they bring forward, us then getting a chance to implement them.
I'm not sure if this was asked yesterday, but you obviously are one of the most senior and well-known members of Congress, if not the most well-known, and you've done some of the best work. And so if you were to tell Elon and Vivek where to start, where would you start?
Well, think about this, just in a broad sense. The FBI's budget is close to $12 billion. More than half of that is devoted to intel and counterintel. I mean, really? I mean, that seems like a lot of money for surveillance and intelligence gathering. And I understand that, after 9/11, there was sort of a change of focus. But most Americans believe the FBI is out there catching the traditional bad guys, the gangs, the organized crime, the money laundering, the stuff going on. That's what most Americans think they should be focused on. And I think there are lots of great agents who are doing that. But when you look at the budget and the personnel, more than 50% aren't devoted to what we traditionally think the FBI does. Maybe there's some changes that need to happen there that are better for the country, better for our liberties and our freedoms. This is why I'm so excited, Benny, about Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel, because they're with us when it comes to the FISA reform that needs to take place. Remember, we lost that amendment. I know I talked about it on your show. We lost that amendment to require a warrant before you can go search what I call the giant haystack of information that the government has. You're going to use Benny Johnson's name, phone number, email address to search that. Guess what? The way our Constitution works, best Constitution ever, best country ever, is you got to go to a separate and equal branch of government and get a probable cause warrant to go get information on an American citizen. And that we lost that vote 212. It was one of the things we were pushing for. So I know Tulsi and Kash are with us on that kind of reform that I think needs to happen to protect liberty. So that's where I think we got to focus as well.
We had an FBI whistleblower on the show earlier saying that they've opened a counter intel operation on Kash Patel, and that the FBI is going, at least the leadership of the FBI is going to try and do everything in their power to prevent Kash Patel from getting confirmed. Now it's the Senate who will vote to confirm. What's your message to senators that may not, may be squishy on him or Hegseth? And more importantly, how sick is it that the FBI would be actively operating against the will of the president, president-elect, and the will of 77 million Americans?
Well, remember, we saw this in 2017. Remember when Sally Yates criticized the president's decision when it came to his ban on people coming from certain countries? He had the number 3, I think she was number 3 at Justice. I mean, like, what? That's not how this thing operates. So, that's troubling. I would go back to what I said before. We would not have learned. Kash Patel wrote the memo that from Chairman Nunes. Kash Patel put that together, which described what took place in 2016 with the Comey FBI when they went to the FISA court with false information. Kevin Kleinsmith, who changed an email to go back to the FISA court, found guilty of changing an email to get something done at the court. But for Kash Patel and the good work that Devin did as chairman, we don't learn that. That was critical information that it's good the country got that information. Kash Patel was the key figure in there. I want him to be the next director of the FBI.
Excellent. I love it. Our question up for the audience, and we'll close with this. What's your first D class that you asked from Kash? We know that you know him very well. We know that you're probably going to be the first guy that gets a meeting at the FBI. You're going to be the first guy to walk in the office with Kash. You sit down with him. You both light a cigar, and what's the first thing you ask for declassification?
Well, I mean, think about it. We had a Justice Department that said moms and dads at school board meetings need to be investigated. I want to know all about that. Anything we're missing on that one? We had a memorandum at the Richmond field office that said if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist, you need to be investigated. I want to know how that happened. And then, frankly, I would like to ask, and this, my guess is your viewers and listeners and your audience would like to know, who planted the pipe bombs on January 6th? Why don't we know that? Who leaked the Dobbs opinion? And who put cocaine at the White House? Why don't we know those things? Those are just kind of common things that you'd think we would have figured out by now. So, I mean, those are just a few off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head. Okay, who's got DNA? They found the DNA on the cocaine and then they destroy it, right? It really is remarkable. What's the poll at here? What's the poll at? We have released the Diddy list, released the Epstein list, released the JFK file. The Epstein list is winning pretty significantly right now, Congressman. So the listeners, the viewers want the Epstein list first. So
I totally understand that coming from your viewers. I kind of focused on the things that we deal with here in Congress so much. So that's why I went with those 4 or 5, whatever I rattled off there.
That's right. Man, you release the Epstein list, there's going to be some packed flights out of the country. There already are. From some of Joe Biden's best donors. It's funny how that works. Somebody who the only list you'll find him on is the most effective members of Congress in the country, and also the list of national champions in collegiate wrestling. The great Jim Jordan, who's here. I really hope that we get to go to a national championship this year. Congressman,
it's in Philly this year. It's in Philly this year.
It's in Philly, okay.
Big Tens are back in
Evanston.
Oh, yeah, they're back in
Northwestern.
Yeah,
that's right.
The Big Ten tournament's great, just like the NCAA.
That would be fun, man.
We gotta get the president back to the NCAA tournament finals. He was such a big hit when he went a couple years ago, and it was interesting. He stayed for all 10 matches, all 10 finals. Benny, really? I think we probably talked about this, and every single champion came over and shook his hand after their match was done. The wrestling community, as you know, I tell McCormick this. McCormick won that Senate race. Great guy. We campaigned with him. Dave's going to be a great senator. He won that race by 17,000 votes. And I think it was the wrestling. You know how strong Pennsylvania high school wrestling is.
Yes.
And wrestling people are so pro-Trump, so Republican, kind of conservative, working class, middle class people. I think it was the wrestling community that actually, in the end, pulled it out for McCormick because he won with such a tight margin. And we campaigned. We stopped at a few wrestling places along Lehigh and Pitt Johnstown, different places. So it's kind of funny how the wrestling world is involved in politics now.
In wrestling world, sort of like it sort of crosses over with UFC world.
Yeah, totally.
Like fighting and champion, where we got some photos here. You were here? Were you here? Are we gonna find some pictures of you there?
No, I wasn't at the last UFC fight.
This is I'm not sure if you can see the screen. This is the NCAA. This is the NCAA's.
I've been to several. I haven't been to the last few, but
okay. I see Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah, that was one in Tulsa when he went with Senator with Mark Wayne. And this year it's going to be in Philly, and then next year, 26 is going to be in Cleveland. Be back in Ohio.
That's great. Look at these young. Look at these young wrestlers. I mean, we're showing every single young national champion taking a selfie, running over to meet Trump. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
it's so amazing. It's champion culture, bro. When Penn State wrestling, it hurts my little soul to say it. When
I know you're a
because my
Hawkeye
Hawkeyes
fan.
didn't do it. Hawkeyes should have done
They're
it. What's
good,
wrong
though.
with you?
The Penn State's
Come on.
good. Michigan's tough. Iowa's
Brands.
tough again. Iowa State, Ohio State's tough. Some of the Big Ten, is good. But Tom and Terry are doing a great job. But Penn State, I don't know if anyone's going to beat them again this year.
Dude, and they all came up on stage and they endorsed him. I said, that's it. Call Pennsylvania. That's it. On our election night coverage, I showed the photo and I said Trump's going to win Pennsylvania. It's one of the first photos I shot.
Isn't that funny?
Because of Penn State wrestling.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. And this is a man who knows. Please go follow Jim Jordan. He's got millions and millions and millions of followers, but man, he's got his work cut out for him. Here we go. Almost 6 million followers. You have twice as many followers as we do, Congressman. Goodness, we should be going on your show. And to end here, here's the photo of Trump with the entire Penn State wrestling behind him.
Yeah,
if you don't mind, Killer Klein, there it is, right there. You have no idea how. If you know, you know. If you're from wrestling country, and this was in Pennsylvania, very close to Happy Valley. You realize how powerful this is, because this is what real men do during the winter. Watch wrestling. All right, thank you so much.
You bet. Have a great week. Take care.
All right, Merry Christmas. Always got to nerd out. Yeah, he's got to nerd out a little bit. What do you want from me? What do you want me to run for senator against Joni Ernst? You want me to do it? Should we start the exploratory committee live on the show? I am from Iowa. It is where I was raised. It is where I went to school. And there's nothing to do in Iowa other than watch wrestling. Sorry. Talk to any Iowan, they'll tell you that. And we're pretty upset at Joni Ernst. And we do love wrestling. It is a culture. And now it's kind of going mainstream. Bo Nickel, right? He's pretty successful UFC fighter. A ton of UFC fighters got big time wrestling backgrounds. Makes them pretty deadly out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we name dropped John Fetterman. We want to prove to you that, of course, this is true. We've never lied to you, but why not show you the clip? Here's Fetterman saying, dump all Trump prosecutions. Go.
So, Senator, President Biden's decision to pardon his son Hunter is facing bipartisan backlash. Even the Democrats are all over it. But what do you think? Is this much ado about nothing? It is his son, after all, and people do have sympathy for that. But a lot of people are angry with him about it. What do you say?
Oh, well, I think it's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated, but I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump that was political as well too. Now is that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate, and I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases, and we cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. And it's very clear both trials were politically motivated and weaponized that on the other side.
There you go. Thank you very much to News. To what's the organization? What was the stinger just there? Hold on, I missed it. What's the name, Alex? The stinger right there. News Media Research Center. Okay, I was like, Media Matters. That's not it. No. We're not going to think Media Matters on this program. Although I know you're watching, you little gremlins. I know, you little dirtbags. I know you're all watching right now. I hope you're miserable. I hope you get coal for Christmas. And we're trying to make content for Media Matters. Actually, Media Matters should thank us. We make so much content for them to write about. Man, when do I get my Christmas letter? It wouldn't be a Christmas letter, would it? It'd be a Happy Holidays letter from Media Matters. Screw those people. Kamala Harris slammed for fake accent again as she makes first public appearance after Howard University speech. So Kamala Harris, first public appearance. I mean, she made this slurry wine mom Xanax rattling around in her purse, 3-time divorcee lady at the end of the block, in the cul-de-sac speech. Like she gave that absurd video. She filmed it in Hawaii. She was drunk, right? Kamala not doing well, man. Kamala Harris has reemerged now with a fresh off 10 cases. It's not cases. Hold on. We got to get trashier in this. Box of wine. It's box of wine. Kamala Harris slurring with a accent you know very well by now. When Kamala Harris is in front of affected audiences, she uses a foghorn leghorn accent from the deep south, talking just like an extra on the set of Gone with the Wind. Here we go.
I knew y'all were in town. I couldn't let it go without coming by to say hello. And to say thank you to everyone here, all of these extraordinary leaders. I wanted to come by and say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, whatever you may celebrate. But most important, let's make sure we celebrate each other.
Could you imagine that for 4 years? Killer Klein's in the studio, like, how would she have survived for 4 years? Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Could you imagine? It's Christmas time. Say Merry Christmas. It is what it is. This is the dominant culture. Say Merry Christmas. Freaking Target's up with Merry Christmas signs now. That's how much we've won. Ladies and gentlemen, Melania Trump was on Fox News this morning. Want to get to this very quickly because, well, we finally know what Barron Trump's voice sounds like. So let me give the setup here, and then ALX, just get me that newer clip of Barron Trump talking with Dana White. So here's the setup. Yeah, no problem. So here's the setup. So nobody knows what Barron Trump sounds like, or at least not until a video was released of him talking as an adult a day ago. Barron Trump is seen in these adorable videos from the early aughts, right? And he's a young man. I think he's like 5, 6, or 7. And he's doing what little kids do. And he's running around with this cute accent that is like a Melania Trump accent. Melania Trump's from Slovenia, and he has like sort of this like Slovenian accent because unlike Kamala Harris, who was raised in the leafy suburbs of Montreal, if you listen to her in events like that, only events like that, if she's talking to a room full of white people, she sounds totally different. She sounds like an episode of Law and Order. But only in rooms like that, the foghorn leghorn comes out. Barron Trump was raised by a first-generation immigrant to this country from Slovenia, and so he hears the accent, and it actually is it's real, you know, when he's a young man. So here's the original video of I like my suitcase. I like my suitcase.
Everyone is so fascinated with Barron, and as people may or may not know, he helped the president-elect with his social media strategy and say, hey, you got to do some of these TikToks. You got to talk with some of these podcasts. What is the fascination with your son? We actually have a clip of a before and after of the evolution of Barron. Let's play it.
Say hi, Larry. Hi, Larry. I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now. Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm in the business.
It's very nice to see you. Very nice. What do you think the evolution of your son? He's a grown man now.
He is a grown young man. I'm very proud of him, about his knowledge, even about politics, and giving an advice to his father. He brought in so many young people. He knows his generation, because nowadays the young generation, they don't sit in front of TV anymore. Mm-hmm. They're all on the tablets, they're on the phones, and all of these podcasts and streamers. He was very vocal, and he gave an advice to his father, and was incredible how he brought in a success, because he knew exactly who his father needs to contact and to talk to.
Isn't it shocking how fast he went from that little boy to the big man?
What advice do you have for other moms that are, because I'll go back and I'll look at videos of my daughter when she was that age, and there's like a pain in my heart because I missed those years. What's your advice for all of us that your son's in college now, you've seen him grow up, how do you handle each stage?
I think you need to be present and to be with them as much as you can, to be there as a teacher and a guide, give them guidance. I think it's the most important, because years goes by so fast. We just don't imagine. It's like I see the clip that you just showed. I feel like it was like a few months ago. Right. But the time goes so fast.
Time does go so very fast. Oh man, the last 4 years it did fly by, didn't it? And it's so wonderful to see this family back in the White House. Now, this I like my suitcase has turned into quite the TikTok trend. The commentary of I like my suitcase from Barron Trump has been turned into a banger. Now, you may not be aware of this. There's an entire ecosystem that has remixed commentary from Trump, commentary from Barron, and turned it into like club bangers. This has happened with Donald Trump's eating the cats and dogs. When Trump said they're eating the cats and dogs, we have some supercuts of this. Let's get some of them loaded. Okay, we have one right here. This one's very interesting. This is Dana White, who we know and love, wheeling a girl around in a suitcase, singing the song. So here's just one example. Danny's sending others, but here's the song that they turned from Barron Trump, that little clip of Barron Trump. Here's what they've done with it.
I like my suitcase. I like my suitcase.
Okay. Danny, we got to be faster with these, man. I'm not sure if this is the best example of this trend. This might perhaps be a better one. Let's load this up. Is it really like people in a suitcase? Is that really the trend? My goodness. Okay. Well, here we go. This is the internet for you. An exciting place to work because you never know what's next. Here's the Barron Trump trend. I like my suitcase.
My suitcase. I like my suitcase. I like my suitcase. suitcase. I have to go to school now.
All right. Well, Trump is culture. What else can we say? Trump is culture. We may, because it's Free for All Friday, do you guys want us to do a eating the dogs, eating the cats supercut? If you want us to do it, let us know. We monitor the chat all day and night. If you want to see the supercut of eating the dog, this is the banger. This is the old school banger. If you want us to do it, hold on. Let's stare at the chat right now. You want to see do you want to see the eating the dogs, eating the cats old school banger supercut of Donald Trump saying they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, and everyone dancing to it? Okay. We'll do it. Your wish is our command. All right? Your wish is our command. Here we go. Trump is culture. They thought that this was going to end Trump. They did. They thought this was going to be the end of Donald Trump. Oh, wow. He said that the true thing that's happening in Springfield, Ohio. And the internet did its thing. Here we go.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
It's a banger.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating
banger.
Cats. Eat the cat.
I don't make the rules. Dude, what?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
They were doing it. All right.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs.
We stopped them.
Eat the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
We stopped them from eating the dogs and cats. I say this to people. People come up and they come up and they're fans of what we're doing and we love it and we're a movement and I love meeting everyone. I love you. We love the chat. And thank you, chat, for advising us to do that. And they come up and I always say, you know what? We stopped them from eating the cats and dogs. They say, we did it, we won. I said, yes, most importantly, we stopped them from eating the cats and dogs. We don't do that here, okay? We don't do that here. No, we don't do that here. We love our animals and our pets here. And you got to go back. They have to go back. We're so sorry. We don't know what you do at home. If you have to go back, you can eat the dogs and cats at home, but you're not going to do that here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what this vote did, and it's so exciting. Melania Trump, since we're talking about dances, let's talk Melania Trump talking about her husband's dance that has now become iconic. Go.
It's got to be so thoughtful, and we've heard him talk about, by the grace of God, he is alive today. What we have seen since he was elected, and over the last couple of months, is that calmness and maybe gratitude or whatever it is. But something else we've seen is he seems so kind of happy and loose because last night at the Patriot Awards, I think we got a clip. He was doing the Trump dance, and I'm sure you've seen that evolve over the last. As you look right there, how do you describe your husband's dance moves?
Oh, this is very special and unique dance.
It is, right?
And I think a lot of people are copying it, and everybody have fun with it.
Yeah.
Is this how you dance?
No.
Which part of the Trump did you give him any tips? Like in the beginning, it was low, and then it was up high, and now there's a golf swing.
No, he's coming all on his own.
Have you ever done the Trump dance? You are Mrs. Trump.
I did not.
So I guess you're not going to start today. You can practice.
Donald Trump will get a official Benny Show ornament on his Christmas tree when we go to Mar-a-Lago tomorrow. This will be the official ornament. We will place it on the tree at Mar-a-Lago. We will, ladies and gentlemen, conquer the Mar-a-Lago Christmas tree. We'll ask permission, of course. We've already asked permission. And ladies and gentlemen, we have all of your Christmas trees lined up. Killer Klein's getting them right now. You sent them in. We got them locked. We got them loaded. And we're going to do Rate My Christmas Tree. But first, we're going to do Ask Benny. Okay? We're going to rate my Christmas tree. We're going to do Ask Benny and give Klein a second to add all of these Christmas trees that have been sent in, because we have lots of them. We're going to do our best to get to every single. We're going to do our best to get to every single one. Okay? If you sent us a tree, here's the last one, Klein. I've been sending them all to Killer Klein, and he's been doing his best to load them. There we go. Okay. All right. Here we go. The Ask Benny Anything. Heather Pedersen says, do you know when they vote to confirm or not? When will the results be public? They vote to confirm as soon as President Trump is sworn in, sometimes the day of the inauguration, they start doing hearings. Because you can't obviously do the hearings before you have a new president. The president starts, then his nominations start, and you get everything all lined up. So right after Donald Trump is sworn in on January 20. And so it's going to be an exciting ride. We're going to, of course, be there. Unless I'm having a baby. In an insane twist of fate, that's my fourth child's due date. So not going to be missing that one. So we may be in the studio covering it, which would also, I mean, honestly, like, this is our job. So maybe this is the place to be. We'll see. Della Ramsey says, how did the email from Pete's mother in 2018 come out? My email doesn't go back that far. How was it obtained? Going through garbage now? Is this what the news does? And this is very interesting. This is such a great question, Della. How do you go and get an email from nearly 10 years ago? How does the New York Times get access to a private email address of Trump nominee's mom? How's that happen exactly? Anybody got an answer for me on that? It seems super sketchy. Seems very, very sketchy. The Times, and this is in the script for my producers, the Times said Penelope Hegseth copied Samantha Hegseth, Pete's second wife, on the message when it was set. The outlet received a copy from a person with ties to the family. Scumbags. Dirty. Although it does seem a little mysterious, doesn't it? Person with ties to the family. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Is that person the FBI? Because the FBI technically has ties to all of us as they spy on us. Got to put an end to it. Lynn says, hi, Benny. Biden able to pardon the people on the left who are now going to be hunted? I'm thinking Liz Cheney, Jack Smith, Brennan, Hillary. Do they have to be arrested for crimes before they're pardoned, or can Biden pardon them preemptively? What a great question. This is a question that is currently being debated throughout the judicial ecosystem, and there are two trains of thought on this. One, the answer is no. You can't pardon somebody for crimes they haven't committed or haven't been charged with, because a pardon needs to be for a crime. I mean, if this is the rule, so let's say this is now the rule, then why doesn't every president, and they probably will, just go pardon himself and every person he ever knows for their entire life? Why not? Why, if this is now the extendable rule, how about you extend the pardon through the rest of their life? So I don't know how long I'm going to live, but extend my pardon through 2050. Okay? So for the next 30 years, give me freedom to do anything I want, break any law I want, and I'm going to say, like, in what the courts are going to have to restrict this. The courts are going to have to come down and say, no, presidential pardon is just for admissible crimes that have been charged that you can point to on a court docket. You can't just go and because you want to talk about two tiers of justice. This is how you create them. You create people that are utterly untouchable, like Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was set to, everyone's like, why did this pardon happen right now? Hunter Biden was set to be sentenced this week. This was the sentencing week for Hunter. So how the hell how do you charge people who haven't been charged with, how do you pardon people who haven't been charged with any crimes? Chicken or the egg? It doesn't make any sense. And the abuses are unlimited. So every president's going to just effectively leave office from now until eternity, pardoning themselves for life. Bad system. Bad system. Let me tell you what's a good system. Boom. Here we go. the Christmas tree ornaments. ALX is totally coming on the ALX, you have no choice. You're gonna come on, you're gonna rate Christmas trees. Unless ALX says no. He hates it when I do this. Unless ALX says no, I want ALX and I can be in a 2-box and we can rate your tree. What do you think about that, ALX? What do you think? I'm checking the chat. ALX goes, okay, good. Okay, all right. ALX is saying, give me a second. He needs to get on his dark MAGA hat. We came up with these ornaments. It was partly ALX's idea. ALX has come up with some great swag ideas. Elon Musk wore them on stage. Dark Gothic MAGA, that's ALX's idea. And so since this is the most popular Christmas ornament in American history, and since ALX came up with the most popular MAGA hat in American history, then I think it's totally fitting that we do an ALX update and we'll rate your tree, something you'll only get on this program. Unfortunately, we don't have a stinger for it. We should do like a holiday stinger, right? With like snowing and Christmas music. We just have the ALX stinger. Let's go. All right, here we go. Okay, let's check ALX's audio. How are we doing? Good? You sound good to me, man.
Awesome.
How we doing, boys? Okay, good? All right.
Good,
All right, there he is. ALX with the Gothic MAGA, the most popular MAGA hat. Elon Musk wore it at Madison Square Garden. And the most popular Christmas ornament. And so we're just swagging it up. Drip for days, ALX.
Based.
Okay, ALX, you're going to help me review Christmas trees. I can't do this project alone.
All right,
Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. We got so many Christmas trees sent in. Klein, do we have them all loaded? Not all of them. Holy smokes. Oh, man. All right. Well, how are we going to do it? Do we have names connected to them? Yep. Okay, great. Well, let's just start, and then the ones we don't get to, or the ones we can't get to, we'll do another segment on Monday. We'll build out a big like segment for it, right? And we'll do angels and Santa Claus and trees and music and everything. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. First, ALXmas. Here we go. So there's I don't know. This is from who? Mimi Minotti has a very non-traditional Christmas tree. You can see the Benny ornament right there. Mimi, you also have some great scented candles and a wonderful DVD collection.
I was going to say it kind of does look like a cactus.
That is a cactus. Okay.
Is it supposed to be a cactus?
Now we can see it. It's a cactus.
Do you know what state they're from?
We see the thing. Yes, it's like a New Mexico, Arizona kind of thing. Okay, great. You got the Grinch there and everything.
I like the creativity.
Okay, yeah, love the creativity. Absolutely love it. And very well done. Here we go. And again, whatever you have in that cage right there, whether it's a cat or a dog, don't bring it to Springfield, Ohio. Okay? 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 All right? Okay, go. Jerry Hartford, love it. Love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful, colorful.
Traditional.
Yep, very traditional. The Christmas lore is strong. Lindsay Kelly. This is awesome. Looks like you have a great taste in Christmas ornaments. I see some fancy ornaments on there, but nothing like that big splash of red.
I think a peacock feather.
Is that a peacock feather? Okay, the chat's going off. Okay, so let me know. That's a good one. Okay. Jordan Pate.
Oh, we have the joy. We have the joy now. Kamala has been drained from the joy. So
that's right. And Joy Reid's about to get drained from MSNBC.
Yep.
Yeah, I doubt that's the Joy Reid ornament. I highly doubt that. But I would actually watch that ornament more than Joy. If you put that ornament on for an hour on MSNBC and it was just that would be more entertaining than Joy Reid. Okay,
just an ornament of Joy Reid's screaming face would be funny. Yeah,
that's right. With the Trump,
yeah,
with the Trump hair.
With the Trump wig, removable Trump wig.
Jack DeStasio. That's a great one. The Green Ranger.
Is that Bob Ross?
Oh, that's amazing. Jack, this is a great Christmas tree. This is a great Christmas tree. You got Michelangelo. Is that Michelangelo? It looks like Michelangelo up there.
I think that's Bob Ross. Oh, the turtle.
Yeah, look at that. Boom.
That was out of frame for me.
Well, it all works. What an eclectic, beautiful collection you got there.
And a John Deere tractor.
Great job, dude. Great job. John Deere did not go woke. They unwoked themselves this year. So very
I
good.
don't think it's Billy Mays. Ashley thinks it's Billy Mays. I thought it was at first.
Goodness gracious, we got 10K votes on the poll itself. 10,000 votes on the poll. Good.
All right, from Lou and Corinne Albiero.
Ooh, very nice. Crisp.
Yeah.
Very
White
crispy.
House ornaments too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, those are official White House ornaments from the White House Archivist Office that do a official Christmas ornament. They're very beautiful and iconic ornaments. It's a beautiful thing, and the red Christmas looks like a splash on that tree. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hot damn. Well done.
Yep. I love it.
Amber Falls. Here we go. Classic.
Spider-Man.
Oh, you got the Spider-Man. That's right. I didn't even see that.
Same colors. Same colors as the map.
That's true. I didn't even see that. That's right. Okay. There you go. Spider-Man. That's right. And he's looking at the red Christmas ornament. He loves it. This is going to be he's going to have a much easier job, okay? Without 10 Tren de Aragua to deal with. Okay? Oh, that's great.
Wow.
That's perfect.
It is the whole tree.
That's perfect. That's right. And I love the little globes around it. This is like the dominant America over the world.
I believe she said that's on her desk at work.
This is on your desk at work. Oh man, that's great. I hope you work at Starbucks or some lib company and you're triggering everyone as they walk by. Beautiful. What's the name?
This was Yvonne Field.
Yvonne Fields. Well done, Yvonne.
All right, from George Fedi.
Oh, George. Look at George.
Look at that. Very patriotic.
MAGA maxing, as Alex would say.
That's true.
This is MAGA maxing. You got the Trump ornament. You got an America ornament right there. Beautiful. Since 1776. I like the eagle. My favorite,
Nice
other
eagle.
than our ornament,
Yeah.
is that eagle with the flag. Is that an eagle carrying a flag, I think? Is that one ornament? Dude, that's freaking awesome.
Looks
I gotta
like
get
it.
that.
All right, Tyler Rush.
Tyler Rush, another classic. Well done.
Very classic.
Well done, Tyler. You got a Frosty on there? That's my kid. This is my kid's favorite. Yeah, there you go. That is my kid's favorite. This is my kid's favorite Christmas movie and song. Frosty the Snowman. Beautiful. Well done.
Dennis Snyder.
Dennis Snyder. Whoa, Dennis, you got a great setup in there. That's one hell of a clock.
Yeah.
That's great. I like this. It's non-traditional. Okay. It looks like you got some great pictures of family and everything. Yeah, you got a Charlie Brown tree. This is hanging from the Charlie Brown tree. That's Christmas classic. Based. Well done. That clock belongs in a Trump building. Oh yeah, okay. There you go. just stick it to the wall.
Yeah. Very, very Florida.
Very Florida Christmas. Very, very Florida Christmas. Ashley says Biden economy tree.
Yeah.
The Biden economy tree. Yeah, that's right. Pin it to the wall. Fight, fight, fight. Look at that beautiful ornament. It's got Trump inside of like a mosaic, a stained glass mosaic. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Rustique. I love it. It's Rustique. Who's the name?
Sue Arata.
Sue Arata. Well done, Sue.
All right, from Vicky Schiller.
Oh,
white one.
Vicky. Oh, Vicky, that's sharp. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Vicky. There it is. Yeah, it got just a little pop on it. There you go. It blends in with the white because it's got a reflection on it.
Is that a Marine one too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another White House Christmas ornament. It's great. Beautiful. And I love the lamp. A classic. There you go. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, baby.
I like it. Just start putting them on trees outdoors too. That would be cool.
Totally.
From Susan Hilton.
Susan Hilton. Oh, that's cozy. Look at that. This is a stuffed animal.
Best.
A little stuffed animal action. That's a cozy tree. That's the kind of tree you have a cup of hot cocoa next to. On a cold night. Ariana. A classic Christmas tree. The bulbs. The red Christmas. The blend. It's beautiful. We have a tree like this that's like easy to put together and stuff because like the kids just terrorize our Christmas tree. All of our ornaments are on like the top third of the tree because our kids just terrorize the tree. Terrorizing the tree. My older girls know better. They're 4 and 2, but my son, who's 1, does not know any better. Yeah.
This next one's from Pekanini. Was the only name?
Okay, Pekanini.
Oh, Trump bear.
Trumpy bear. Oh yeah, Trumpy bear. That's right. Look at that. That's a beauty. That's a patriotic tree right there. That is a strong tree. I like the trees that are totally overdone with the ornaments, like this one, where the tree, like every branch has something on it. Christmas maxing. I love it. Plus the Trumpy bear. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Well done.
Names were Ed and Beverly.
Ed and Beverly. That's charming and beautiful. Look at that. I love it. This is on your front door. What a great way to greet someone.
I know. Yeah, it's the first thing I see.
That's right. Your post office. You're red pilling your post office worker. Okay, your mailman. You're red pilling your mailman. It's great. And look at how it pops right there, right in the middle. It's beautiful. And the little gold tassel. The little gold tassel comes in. It's perfect. Ed and Beverly. Ed and Beverly, you look great.
This is another one from Ed and Beverly. This is what they have outside.
Ed and Beverly. Okay.
Anaheim Angels hat.
All right. This is in Anaheim, I think. Look at that. And you got Santa Claus there with the axe. Man, you definitely red pilling if you're in Anaheim. I don't know if that's where you're living, but if that is, it looks southern. I mean, it looks like Southern California, kind of like the lighting and the look is like desert maybe. California, you got the rocks in the yard, just like a classic look around there. So this is just my assumption. But great Christmas ornaments and looks very sharp with the red Christmas. Cheryl DiBiase.
Nice cross.
Mm-hmm. Christmas Christ maxing. That's good. We do the Christ maxing. That's very nice. And the classic bulb there. Love it. Goes well with the cross. That's great.
From Ashley Gaggus.
Ashley Gaggus. There you go. See, that's the kind of ornament my kid, Ashley, that's the kind of ornament my kids would smash into 1,000 ornaments. Boom. Okay, I don't know if you got little kids, Ashley. Just saying, keep them out of reach. Keep them out of reach. That's right.
It's from Julian Vasquez.
Julian. That's great. Julian's got his selfie in it. That's great, Julian. Looking awesome. Love that tree. Love the vibe. Love the frosty. And Santa sitting there with a gift. This is Santa bringing a present of Red Christmas. I love it. It's brilliant, Julian. It's brilliant, Julian. Look at that.
It has glasses.
Tracy Lasatz. Tracy Lasatz tree. It's a thing of beauty. Yeah, it's got glasses. It's great. I should wear those on the show. We should do for our Christmas special. For our Christmas special that we'll do in 2 weeks, we'll wear those on the show. That looks great, Tracy. Tracy Lasatz. Well done.
Last one I have is just from KP Kronig.
KP Kronig. Ooh, that's a great.
Like that.
Got like a cupcake on there. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Little nativity. Yeah, like that.
That's great. Was that the nativity right there? Like the glass? Is that the glass nativity?
Yep.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Oh, that's great.
That was the last one I had.
How many fantastic different types of trees. It's like awesome to see how many different types of Christmas trees there are. Not something we normally do on this program, but since what we have, I'm talking to the Guinness Book of World Records. I'm telling you, we DM'd them. I said, is this going to be the most popular Christmas ornament in world history? I can prove that there are 50,000 of these hanging on Christmas trees around the country. You can get yours, by the way. They're available. The one thing that we can't promise right now is delivery before Christmas. We can. Some of them will be delivered before Christmas. We don't want to lie to anyone. We don't want anyone to write us angrily. The last thing we've never lied to you. So they're available. Go get yours. Go get your ornament. Get them today. Might be delivered after Christmas, but who cares? Leave up your tree. My tree's up through January. You pop it on the tree. When it's ready.
Yeah. Christmas lasts until January 6th. So
where's your Christmas tree, Alex?
It's not up yet.
No, Alex!
I have some breaking news for you after the show.
Oh no! All
We'll
right,
see.
good. Okay, not for the ALX update. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Exclusive news.
Exclusive news. Okay, well maybe we'll break it soon. And if it's ALX, you know that it will soon be in your timeline retweeted by Elon Musk. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ALX breaking news. A Christmas message for the viewers, ALX?
We got our greatest Christmas gift, and that was Donald Trump in 2024.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Red Kingdom. A gift for all of us. A gift to all of us. That's perfect. That's great. And ALX there with the that hat is available as well. I think on Donald Trump's website, right?
Yep, it's still available, but they're like on back order because so many people ordered things on election day that like there was some message at the top. There's also Doge merch now on their site, so that's also fine. But yeah, too many people ordered MAGA hats, and they're like all back ordered right now because of how popular they were. So
okay. Shoot. All right. I'm gonna get a bundle for the team. Probably won't arrive by Christmas. Get a bundle for the team. The great ALX. Everyone follow ALX. Obviously, you know that. We're gonna get to 1 million by Christmas. That's the goal. 1 million by Christmas.
1 million by Christmas. Ambitious. We'll see.
On his way. On his way. ALX. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Our verse of the day today from Proverbs. Love Proverbs. In all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends to end only in poverty. You gotta do the work. You gotta put in the work. You gotta push your shoulder to the wheel. Muscle through. Make sure that now is not the time for celebration. I mean, it is, actually. It's a joyous Christmas season. But now is the time to do the work. We are going to work in 2025. We're not going to sit back and rest. This is what the libs did. Look how it ended for them. We have so much salt for the new year. We have so much salt, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be glorious. And we are thankful for you because you have helped us do this work by subscribing, by watching, by becoming a member. You help us go out into the world and do this work. Wait till you see the new project that we're working on here. It's going to be so awesome. Your support helps us. You being just watching the show, like just watching the show is enough. And we're so flippin' thankful for you. And it's allowed us to branch out and to do the things that can serve this audience. Now, let's put up the, okay, got 11,000 votes, and the Epstein list is still winning. Speaking of serving the audience, y'all want the Epstein list on, don't you? Y'all want the Epstein list, okay? We listen to you. Well, your wish is our command. We'll keep asking, okay? We'll keep asking, and we'll ask Kash this weekend. Come on, boys, come on. It's been very exciting. It's been a very fun build, and we haven't even gotten started yet. It's going to be fun. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and family to do so as a Christmas present, early Christmas present to us and our program as we march together here through this blessed holiday season, celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. March with us. A happy warrior and a happy army cannot be defeated. We will win. We have won, and we're going to keep on winning. You'll be sick of it. No, you won't. It's your boy, Benny. Have a great Christmas and weekend in this, the greatest country on earth. See ya.
Hunter Biden, the big natural gas tycoon. I hope you're not too tired from your last art show. I'd hate for you to paint yourself into a corner during this deposition. I heard you got a new job as a magician because you've been making all of your business dealings disappear. I wonder what else he got up his sleeve.
I got a laptop. I got a GoPro. I got a Glock, 'cause I say all low. I got a bag of crack, and you can probably see. I also gotta pee. I gotta pee. I gotta pee. Why is everyone laughing at me? So if you find a little pee on the floor after I leave, I think it probably belongs to me.
Sloth, you're gonna live with me now. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. because I love you.
Oh, I love you, Joe.
Oh, I love you so much.
My fellow Americans, I just want to thank you all for helping me win the race. I was told it was a photo finish, so I just hope my hair looked good. I mean, it must have You Can't Win Best in Show on a bad hair day. From the very first time they trotted me out in Congress, I knew I was made for politics. I knew that if I just saddled up, loosened the reins, and hit the hay, that I would stir up the country. It behooves me to say that we must not canter, but gallop to greatness. Thank you for totally making me your president. I plan to mount up cross country and ride for you.
Pete Hegseth?
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna take things real slow, and I want some crazy eye contact. Not you, you. Take your clothes off, but leave the helmets, and this isn't Pretty Woman. We're kissing. Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney. Look, I've never been a natural bottom, and we're gonna move on down the hallway so we can spare a cleanup on aisle. So how's everyone feel about this?
I don't like you.
Yes, let's hold on to that attitude.
The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings. And a dying legacy, media dillweeds. Soon will the Benny Show come to mind. The salt from Lives for Fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun. We sail for #1. Show come to mind. The salt from Lives for Fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun. We sail for #1. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest king.